Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma-Champ or Lucky Track Dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of low-dollar endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, tell us sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
And we are Everyone Racers. Thank you for coming back to listening to a Prince or bottles of beer on the wall or my favorite apples, as in 99 apples, as in episode 99. So we couldn't decide on all of these things because everybody wanted their 99. So it's episode 99. What?
We didn't do Mental's luftbaloons.
Oh, luftbaloons. Sorry about that. I didn't add it to the
Neunzig.
So many things for 99. All right.
Just
if you're
punch a higher floor. Okay, let's go.
Okay, if you're not driving a car, please get your bingo card out because I think we're going to have an epic one to have a whole lot of bingos. So get your card out.
Wait a
because
minute, card out.
Get your card out. I already have mine up.
Don't
I'm really
wait
excited
for me.
about
Just
mine.
Keep going.
Got it. Mental. Are you here, Mental?
I am here. Can you not hear me?
We can hear you. Let's go.
Okay, cool. Sorry. So I had an uneventful flight home. Big props to the Southwest Counter Help. They upgraded me to the TSA pre-check and the Philly Airport USO, one of my favorite USOs in the country. I actually had a really nice layover at O'Hare, had a good lunch, and I was home in time for Vicky and I to grab some dinner. Then yesterday, we got home from house shopping a little after 5, and I immediately fell asleep for the next 11 hours.
Pretty much.
That's about right.
Yep. If we could do 11 hours, we would have.
Yeah. Yeah, we did 9 hours one night, 8.5 the next. Plus, we had an hour and a half nap after we dropped you off at the airport, Mitchell. Like, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Before I went to work. Basically, we got home from the airport, take a nap for an hour and a half, get up, have lunch, go to work.
Okay, so it's now your turn if Mental is done.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, recovering from Thompson and sleeping, like I already said. I've already started fixing the car. I made a huge laundry list of all the things that needs to be fixed on the car. Started that already. Already got the big brakes on and the brake fluid.
What kind of
out.
brakes? What kind of brakes?
Well,
Not the brake pads. What are they
It's a
off
Mini
of?
Cooper rotor.
Oh, well, tell
Mini Cooper
me
rotor.
all about the brakes.
And then Integra Type R calipers. And it all goes right together. It's amazing. And I got some pads that I bought from Porterfield.
What kind are they?
Revestis.
Calling it. No, whatever.
That's what kind they are. Anyway, so brakes.
Kind we always use.
That's not legal.
The kind
Come
that
on.
work great. Got the all the brakes are done. Got the seat and the passenger seat belts back in because the next 2 times the car is going to get used, it's going to be HPDEs. Fluid checks. Car did not use like any oil or any water again.
Woo!
Took Godzilla off again for HPDE, sleeping, etc. Moved cars around, put the trailer away, all that crap.
All that crap.
Yeah, and Chrissy was doing all the rest of it while I was at work, right, Chrissy?
True. So I said this, we call this the Hangover show, and I still kind of feel like I'm hungover. I said after this weekend, I feel like I got hit by a truck. It's getting better, but I'm very sore. Monday, after, as Chris said, we came home, dropped Mental off at the airport, then came home, napped because we basically died. And then Chris went to work, and I decided I was just going to take the rest of the day off because I didn't care. So I spent the afternoon cleaning out the truck, and it was kind of hella hot. Washed all the coolers and some of the dishes that I put in the boxes. Put everything away in the basement, so I actually put it all away. They're not going to be used for a while, so I just, they're all back where they live. And we've been doing early bedtime every day this week because we're basically crashing. And work is actually not as busy since that one major project was last week and that ended. So that was great. So I'm hoping to relax this weekend. We're headed back up to the Cape and all's well. So, Jeff.
Am I the only fool who had to work Monday?
Yep.
I worked a half day.
Chris went half day.
Chris went half a day. Okay, so I worked all day Monday. So all the things I'm going to talk about, I did today because today was my first day off. So let's see here. I cleaned out the truck, but not the trailer yet. I did half the laundry, and all the food and the coolers are done, but they're just kind of littered around the exterior parts of my house. They haven't actually gone.
What's new?
Yeah, they actually haven't gone to their home yet.
General Wakeman problems. Right?
Yeah, pretty
General
much.
checking
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah, see, because I'm the boss, I had to work 11 hours Monday and Tuesday to prep for being away today and tomorrow and everything else. Because I'm taking my last vacation before the crunch. So today, tomorrow, this is what day is today? Wednesday, right? I took off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days off in a row. Woo-hoo! I'm going to finish a lot of projects and things, but today,
Jeff, we love you. No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Watch me.
Ooh.
But I had to work a bunch
Challenge
of hours.
accepted.
Yeah. So I had to work a bunch of hours because I'm the boss, and we are recording this podcast. It is currently 8:16 p.m. on Wednesday, and after I'm done recording, I have to go to work for 3-4 hours to get crap done.
Whoa! What the hell?
I got called in with, here's all the crap that we need you to do. So yeah, this sucks.
If you're the boss, can't you work from home to do some of these things?
No,
Yeah, seriously. Or can't you also say, go pound sand, learn to do stuff yourself, you children?
no, it's everybody has a boss. So I'm in charge of the team, and I need to type up things that are sitting on my desk
Why didn't you bring them home?
because I didn't know I needed to type them until
Oh.
the boss
Is that-
of my boss said, I need those now.
You know what you're going to
Typing
need?
things up reeks of student assistant.
Yeah.
So, you know what you're going to need a lot of, Jeff, tonight?
Yeah.
Purple drink.
Vodka?
Purple drink.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Purple drink.
Purple drink.
Purple drink.
Jeff loves
so
his
much
purple drink.
No, because I actually caught up on all my sleep. So I'm feeling actually pretty good. Really good from the weekend, as a matter of fact. So I don't feel hungover at all.
Not as good
That's
as Mental,
great.
who got a pitcher of beer right before the bar closed. There. That's fantastic.
I'm here every Wednesday, and now they've just started asking, hey, you need anything? Yeah. Can I get some beer? Sure.
So I've also been checking up and working with some various Lemons folks and some of the other people, including Bobbin on our team and Dave, making sure all the Aaron's GoFundMe stuff is getting put in the right place, including the judges from this weekend to make sure the right stuff gets on the video and things. So I guess that's I know we're going to talk about Aaron's GoFundMe later, but since I'm bringing it up now, I will say that it was amazing. Everybody crushed it. They've crushed their fundraising goal. They doubled the fundraising goal. Yeah, more details to come, but just I have to say thanks to the entire Lemons community because this is the first moment that I'm bringing it up. But yeah, like I said, Rich and I were talking. I was emailing back and forth with Nick, Pon, and a few other people. So more to come. It's all about Aaron. It was awesome.
And to that end, yeah, and I don't think anyone is going to disagree with this, but I am sick of cancer. My stepfather, my wife, my brother-in-law, they have all battled cancer. And right now, I've got two good friends. I've got Aaron and a young major I used to fly with, Rebecca, and they are battling cancer. And luckily for us, Lemons feels the exact same way, and they have renamed the Gingerman October race as the Tony Swan Never Say Die race. All of those proceeds are going to go fund cancer research through Alex's Lemonade Stand charity. So they're working on some more silly ideas to support cancer research. Click on the show notes, and remember, fingers up for Aaron and F cancer.
There you go.
Yep.
News and notes time it is. So there's this guy who thinks he knows a lot about computers, and he thought it would be really cool, and he requested a California license plate that was the letters NULL, because he knows that null is computer language for nothing. He said,
Waiting for data.
Waiting for data, exactly. He said, this is great. If I ever get a ticket, it'll just get put in the computer, and the computer will see null, and the computer will decide it belongs to no one. This did not work. He got a parking ticket. The computer said, null, let me look that up. Oh, there's the address of null. I have $12,000 worth of parking tickets for null. And he sent every single parking ticket that was given in California that had no license plate entered.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I get it now.
Oh my God, that is karma. That is karma repeatedly kicking you in the crotch.
It has to be one of the best unintended consequences ever.
That's epic. Love it.
It is pretty good.
And they're saying, I'm so smart. I'm so smart.
So since y'all like this, I'll tell you what happened. So he called the California DMV, and they basically said, "Man, you better change your plates."
Seriously.
He said, "No, it's not my fault." They said, "Yeah, it is. Too bad."
Meanwhile, someone in the DMV is getting promoted because suddenly they were able to assign $12,000 of fines that had previously gone uncollected.
Yeah, except that he's not going to actually pay it.
Doesn't matter. They've already been promoted. That's government work for you. So a hat tip to our buddy Brett Sloman. He sent us the link, but the inspiration behind the BMW theme, the flat Earth research rocket, has been grounded. Anybody want to guess about the cause?
Oh, I heard about this.
Yes, a bad water heater from surprise Craigslist. The guy managed to buy a bad water heater from Craigslist and he can't launch his water-propelled rocket. Links in our show notes.
Yeah, it's a steam rocket.
Yes.
It's a steam-powered rocket, and the water heater blew.
Yep.
Because he bought it off Craigslist.
Yes, and
these are the people that are they're setting levels on the ground. Go, see, flat Earth. See, I buy stuff off Craigslist. Flat Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's just
Buzz Aldrin's punching people. So yeah.
Yep. All right.
Done. Okay. From a recent article on Jalopnik, the war on drive-thrus has begun. Minneapolis City Council has banned drive-thrus on any new buildings. And it's awesome that this page, hopefully we'll put in our show notes, when you open the page, it has a lovely probably 69 silver shadow, brown on black, unfortunately. But they're going through I don't even know what that is.
But it's food drive-through, yeah. All of these links are in the show notes. All of these, yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm going to guess that is a Wendy's by the color.
Oh, maybe Wendy's.
Yeah, I think so.
I was thinking West Coast, but Minneapolis.
Because it's a Rolls Royce, we have to do it. Do you want to bet if he asked for some Grey Poupon?
I'm sure he did.
Or at least the people asked him if he wanted some Grey Poupon. Something like that. Or he says, "No, I have it. Do you want some?"
Something we never did when we had our rolls is go through a drive-through. That would have been fun.
No.
We never really had tags on it, did we?
Oh, we did have tags
Chrissy
on
and
it.
I took it out.
I sat in the back seat in fashion with my top hat on, and I told him, I whipped him and told him to make him go faster. And we went to a random pizza place and we got pizza.
But I took it to work on a couple occasions.
That is awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah. No, we definitely took it places.
Yeah.
Just cause.
All right. Hey, we mentioned this last week. Road & Track showed a picture of the new Acura Type S concept. Quoting Brian Silvestre, the concept was sporting a 286 horsepower V6, 6-speed manual, and Bred row brakes. I think it looks pretty sharp, actually. It's got a...
Yeah, that's why I put the picture in there. I thought it looked good.
Where's the door?
Well, it's a concept. You don't really see the doors, but...
There is no door.
Exercise. But the front wheel to windshield distance is a very kind of a rear drive proportions. Even though
yes.
It's guaranteed to be front or all-wheel drive because Honda. So, but hey, it looks pretty sharp. Hopefully, I imagine they turbo it or something, or it's basically be a Civic Type R and Acura clothing or something like that.
Well, 286 horsepower V6 6-speed manual front drive, that basically is the same as the TSX was.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's the concept. I imagine they're going to do better when they come out with it because that's nothing that is new. They were doing that a couple of years ago with the TL.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
It just looks a little sleeker.
TL.
It looks sharp though.
But the good thing about when they're not doing anything excessively new, which means it's just going to work right out of the box in typical Honda fashion.
True.
So hopefully they have good fuel injectors.
True. More on that later.
Recent races.
Recent races. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about Champ Car. While we were at Thompson, Champ Car was running a True 24 at Virginia International. I ran this race 2 years ago. It's a great time. The Lifeline 24-hour classic. So before we get to the results, they were using a freeway signboard for the black flag messages. Just like road closed ahead, lane closed ahead, move to the left.
Zombies.
Zombies. About 3 a.m., a car number popped up for 5 laps. And when the car didn't report in, and I put the picture in the show notes, this sign then said, "It's you, home slice."
So awesome.
So this was all over the AER page, and I had to throw that picture in there. But as the race goes, this may have been some of our worst predictions ever. But
we never
overall,
claimed to be good at this stuff.
That is fact. Overall, did go to pinkies out in a boring BMW, but they covered 535 laps, which at VAR at night is impressive.
The people we thought would be good, so these are obviously not good. The BBY's S2000 was 61st, their Integra was 38th. It's a bad weekend for the people with the least creative team name. Their BMWs were 24th. The other was Exhibition Class and finished 6th of 7 with 116 laps. Wah, wah. And Carl, the Baltimoreans, they did 27th, so I mean that's way better than all these other fools. So yeah, the Lemons car was the best of all of them. Yes, Chrissy.
So I saw that Carl posted on Facebook that he said, I think they were out the whole time. It's just that they were not equal to the other cars that were going much faster. So I think they said they were rolling most of the time. Like they didn't have anything that really took them out of contention.
Yeah, I think they said they were like 86th fastest lap or something like that. Yeah.
Hey, it works.
Let's see what else didn't work. The Fat Dad's Jetta was 63rd. Silver Bullets Mark 8. We wanted to see that do something. It did in 68th place. If you remove the gas stops, they probably would have won. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and their 88 Camaro did take second overall. And the Chandler School Mustang, the 85 Mustang, ended up in the EC class. So it finished 5th out of 7. So I don't know how that was.
Do you recall how many cars were actually on track? 80 something?
Yeah, it was about 80, yes. I think, started.
Yeah, so all of these picks are really pretty close to the bottom. Besides the funniest of the huge Jazz, the 97 Miata in 33rd, late Apex, like a monkey with an X. And their Neon got 44th. Well lubricated racing in a Ford Focus, 57th.
Oh, wow.
We're terrible at this.
Yeah.
Yes. We should stop predicting that stuff.
Right.
Upcoming, actually happening right now is the Lemons Rally Monterey Car Week. So follow Lemons Rally, associated hashtags for the great entertainment. My favorite entry so far was the Pile Drivers. We follow them on our Instagram, and so I must know them for somehow because I follow them on my personal Instagram, not just the team Instagram.
Chrissy, you got something?
Finish.
They have a Dodge A100 van, which has been cut down to a skeleton open-top convertible, including what looks like a wood pallet door. I think that's probably my favorite part. Their Insta link is in the show notes. Follow Lemons Rally, the hashtag, and you'll see all the cool stuff.
I apologize for interjecting here. I do have a recent update that didn't get in the recents that I forgot about. Lucky Dog had their dog stock at Shasta Lake this weekend.
We actually do have that. It's in the notes.
Never mind.
Sorry. Kathy sent us an email. You can read it if you want.
It's down
when we get there.
Right before main topic.
Got it. Sorry. More on that later.
Hey, thanks.
So, World Racing League is going to be down south in the 14 Hours of Sebring Saturday from 10 a.m. until midnight. They're going to be duking it out. Now, we've got a partial list, and I say partial because it's only 21 cars, and World Racing League usually has a really good response, especially at a track like Sebring. But right now, there are 10 BMWs. Boring. 6 Miatas, no Hondas, 2 P cars, and an Audi RS3.
So all but 5 cars are BMWs or Miatas. Sure. Just want to point that out.
Yes.
So-
21 cars. They're bleeding money on this thing. See,
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, there'll be more people to show up. I just don't think they've updated the race keeper.
That could be.
I hope that's the case. But, hey, these are easy picks because there's nobody here. Casey Carden has the second most original team name ever, is bringing 2 Miatas. Noesis, whose name no one can pronounce, that should be called No Pronounces. They've won before. And I don't know what the rest Mental wrote, so that's fine.
SD Faces, that's the name of the team. And both of the Noesis and SD Faces are bringing Caymans.
So
that's a terrible
there's
name.
nothing interesting in this field. I guess there's a Ginetta G55 from CMZ Motorsports. I had to look that up.
yeah, what is it?
It's a factory.
It's a real racer.
Oh, it's a real
Yeah.
racer? Oh, it sounds legit. So since
But
these are all
Ginetta has been building race cars since the 60s.
Yes.
so legit. All right, so since we've already said these are serious racers, there are a lot of names that are not fun, but we found some fun ones. Chattanooga Touring Wagon Meister Chef V2.0 in a boring BMW. So they have fun name, sad car. And the Miata in a Miata.
Okay.
Is that K Miata?
Okay.
Like
K Miata.
QUE. Yeah.
Got it.
K. Why Miata? Why?
Okay.
Why Miata?
Hey, if a Miata is not your speed, then how about XX Speed? Look for them at Putnam Park in Indianapolis and Pikes Peak in Colorado. In September, they're going to Utah Motorsports Campus, Michigan International, and just outside of Omaha, Nebraska at Raceway Park of the Midlands. Make plans to ride with Mental or really pay extra not to at Wild Horse Pass in Arizona in November. December, he's even going to be at Driveway in Austin, Texas. Choose your car, choose your track, choose your date. Use the code Everyone Racers and you get 25% off. It's your stream experience. It's your turn. And Mental, if they get anything new.
Let me ask. I was going to say, let me throw in something right here.
Yeah.
They had a really cool Instagram thing. I was flying through, and all of a sudden, one of their pro guys was sitting in front of a Ferrari, and he said, "Hey, stop scrolling. Let me tell you, I want to get you into this Ferrari." I thought it was a good ad.
Yeah, he's actually not an instructor. That's Joe Moore, director of marketing.
Oh, that's Joe? Okay.
Mhm.
I know who he was.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for the advertising feedback there, Jeff. That's great.
Now we have listener feedback.
So young Chris thanked us for the Hankook RS4 recommendation. He was telling me about that when we were at the track, and he said that usually they get like a 1 weekend out of a Zenith and they're shredded, and that's it. This time,
That's sad.
This time they never even rotated the Hankooks, and they said we can totally use these fronts again on the backs for the next race. These were great. So yeah, Hankook, you should totally sponsor us.
Right? All right, so there are lots of funny comments on our YouTube update about the Honda. Hooniverse said practice is always a horrible idea. Scott M's tried to blame it on Florida man Donnie, while everyone else seemed to blame Mental. Mental was on the video, but it wasn't Chris. He's working the car. Rest Easy team that made contact did come see us that night, so they're good folks, and I hope that they had a good weekend, and we enjoyed meeting them.
We should probably say what that video was for those who didn't see it.
Well,
Yeah.
they should have been on social media.
Yeah, it's
Duh.
it's on our YouTube. Duh.
Duh.
All right. So on practice, Chrissy was in the passenger seat. I was driving. We were just getting going, doing some fuel burn testing, and going down the straight. We were going straight. We got pitted by another car. Yeah, it's a longer story
And
than that.
spun into the grass.
But yeah, at 105 miles an hour. That was fun.
And Chris, how long had it been since you had a serious wreck in Lemons?
Ever.
Not like that.
Seriously, I've never had more than an incidental little bump with anybody.
Both feet in.
50
Oh, he
races
did. It
in.
didn't matter. The grass was slippery.
Well, but still,
Uh-huh.
no, both feet in worked in that once it was gone, both feet in hard, slid in a straight line away from the track enough, not sliding back onto it, not into anything else, not rolling around. It was nice and controlled.
Hey, I'm telling you, when I spun Betty those years ago in New Hampshire, which is my picture on the E1R
Words are
page.
hard. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I was trying to say like my page on the Facebook. No, that's not it. My 2 feet in, I was amazed at how well that stopped the car. So just remember it, people. It's real. Chrissy.
Bingo.
You bingo already? You bingo already?
Wow.
I have bingo. I've been watching the track. That's why I said this card was good. ST43. Someone makes fun
Somebody
of someone. A center.
Did we actually say ST43?
come
I
on.
feel like
did.
you danced it. You danced it.
I danced
I'm
it,
with
but
Chris. I'm with Chris.
It
He
felt like I was
danced
just like,
it.
oh,
All right,
Chris,
wait. Let's read the rest of the card. Let's go. Keep going. What else?
It's not like I've said, hey, Chris, what brakes do we have on there? And he
That's
said
exactly
ST4.
what you said.
No, I did.
It's
But I
exactly
mean,
like that.
we were already talking about it. So it's not like it was like we're talking about the whole brake system. It's not like I just brought it up randomly, okay?
But that phrase never came out of anyone's mouth.
All right. Let's hear what else is on the card, people.
Mental talks about the Air Force and extreme experience
There you
and the
go.
center card. I'm calling it. It's
I'll
the
call
bingo.
it. That's good.
Fine.
So let's keep moving on.
Anyway, well, the end of the story is a Civic needed some body work in the right rear, a tail light, and we had to replace a trailing arm because it got bent. Because anytime anything hits the rear of the Civic, it bends the trailing arm. That's why we bring spares. So,
There
yeah,
you go.
Because it always gets hit in that corner. Always.
pretty much.
Which is the
I
subject.
think
of the
Jim
show.
bent the other trailing arm a couple years ago.
One
Didn't
one
he?
time the other side got bent. Most of
Yes,
the time
the
it's
other
been the
ones-
right side, or someone else gets hit. And like Misfortune Cookie got hit last year, and we loaned them the trailing arm. That trailing arm has been around. Yeah.
It's a winning
Anyway.
trailing arm. That trailing arm
is.
has won the race.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh. So other Friday night fun, we did a track walk and we posted some photos from that. And Tom Lamino, who is guest driving with us, has some sort of stalker because somebody named Tom Lamino commented and said, "Wow, that guy on the left is hot."
Fair enough.
Not there's
The
anything wrong with
picture-
that.
No, hey, we've all done it. The picture of the wire that punctured the tire when Chris was throwing down hard, it got a really nice zing on the Instagram from Rescuing Rosie, and they commented, it came down to the wire. And then the
Thigh
skip-
slapper. Oh.
the skipping engine video that we'll talk about here later had Mikey White posting, he dubbed the engine now a V-lac.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Hey, but Donnie did laugh at the Black Betty Rambutan video we had on Twitter, and also called. Hey, we were also called one of the top 5 automotive podcasts. Doesn't really matter who said it or what, but hey, that tweet got like 2 likes. So sweet.
Must be real, right?
Oh yeah, I read it on the internet. It must be true.
Must be real. I am a French model. So at the track, we got some personal feedback, and it was from some listeners. So if we don't thank everyone again who brought food to the potluck, we have failed. Thank you, everyone who brought it in.
Yeah.
The teams did not phone it in. The grub was diverse. There's plenty of it. It was amazing. My favorites were the soggy bacon, of course, the sous vide brisket made by Jackie and Dean, the shish kebab by our favorite guy Sasha, about a million other of the meats. I had the meat sweats. I think I just stopped sweating meat.
I
Like
think I
a
saw
minute
that.
ago.
At some point in that night, I said, "This is so weird. There's food on my plate, but I don't want it." Like,
Yeah. So I also have to shout out the team. We like the tuna here because those guys brought tuna fish and white bread with the crust cut off because that was totally on brand. Like,
They
forget
were-
what people want. We're bringing stuff that matches our car.
well, they walked
my
around
gosh.
the paddock at lunchtime.
They did.
Just handing
And
out,
they
"Hey,
had-
anyone want
they
a tuna
had-
sandwich?"
They had gloves on too. I was really impressed, and I was like, everybody's hands are really dirty anyway. They're like, we're trying to be as clean as we can. And
Surf
so they had
safe
like
certified, apparently.
yeah, they had a little scooper and everything. It was
And
awesome.
it was a tub of tuna fish. Like
In
walking
August.
around the paddock in August, exactly.
And here's the thing: is I don't usually eat bread, but they were so totally on brand. I had to do it, so I had a tuna with no crust. And later on, when I went over there to talk to them, because they'd apologized for understeering in front of everybody.
It was
and
amazing.
One of them oversteered in front of me. It was fantastic, and I went over to say, "Hey, you also managed to oversteer it." They recognized my voice. They turned around and go, "You're mental from the podcast," but. The tuna, they walked around with the paddock with the tuna. This is a team that totally gets lemons, and they totally deserve that IOE. So, well done.
Absolutely. And hey, we got lots of positive feedback about the virtual track walk we did, as well as the actual track walk we did, which was nice. So,
Oh, it was awesome.
yeah.
Yes.
Chrissy?
Oh, yeah. That was actually where I was going. So it was awesome that we had some people. We love doing track walks at this track. So because most of other tracks do not let us do that, so it was awesome to the Regressive team who joined us, as well as the Guitar Heroes. That's not who they are. Garage Heroes. I hope everybody learned something.
Chrissy is drunk on my card,
No.
my bingo card.
Yep. No,
But
I'm
Bill is now preparing a new theme for the next race. Guitar Heroes in training. So, yeah.
I mean, it's not.
Actually, that'll totally work.
It's
You just
not
bring
the
a video
first
game,
time,
yeah.
right? It's not the first time that we've said it. Okay, anyway, so I want to apologize to anybody who came up to me to try to talk to me, and it looked like I blew you off. I ran around I just ran around with my finger up the whole time. I feel like I ran around with a chicken without a head all weekend. I didn't sit down. I had 35,000 steps on Saturday to prove it. So whether I was actually needed somewhere, I felt like I was. So if you want to tell me about how much I blew you off, please tell me, email me, and I'll send you a sticker, and I might even kiss it.
Whoa. I don't know what to do with that.
Or it might be a Jeff kiss. You won't know.
Yeah.
Take that gamble, baby. Now, while we're talking about this, we talked about as we went back, our New Year's goal show, because resolutions are weeks off, so we have goals. And I told everyone that I wanted to run a marathon. So I've signed up for the Las Vegas Marathon, and I have been training very hard. Saturday, in accordance with my training plan, I had a lovely run through scenic Thompson, Connecticut. But Sunday was a big run, so I was going to stay right there on the track because we didn't go hot until noon, right? So I needed proper fuel. The thing about it, once you start getting past a certain distance, you've got to learn how to eat and hydrate while you're running. So what did I put there on the pit wall while I was out running around? Chocolate chip brownies.
That's awesome.
Chocolate chip brownies from Chrissy's mom. They got me through 11 miles. So thank you, Chrissy's mom. How you doing?
We were searching for you on Saturday morning. We were like, where the hell is Mental?
Oh, no, you weren't. No, you weren't, because you clowns were all still
Sunday morning?
snoring when I got up. And I was
they
out.
were. They were. I was up at like 9 a.m. and you were gone.
Yeah, I'd already been out for an hour and a half after
sure.
that.
How long does it take to do 11 miles? Anyway, Lucky
It
Dog.
took me too long, so yeah.
Yeah, Lucky Dog. Laguna Seca race at the end of August is sold out, to no one's surprised. If you aren't there, you're going to miss it. The Faster Farms chicken car is coming out, a 66 Plymouth Belvedere with Adrian Smith. Watch them take the corkscrew. That'll be great. Next week, we'll have the teams that will be racing, but look for the IMSA champion and go-kart enduro racer Jordan Taylor setting fast laps in everyone else's car. He'll be stealing seats everywhere. But as was already mentioned, Chrissy, do you want to read about dog stock, or do you want me to do it?
No, please do it.
All right, last weekend
Wanted
was
to hear about it.
dog stock, as we say here in Jersey, dog. But it was California, so we'll call it dog stock at Shasta Lake Resort. 50 folks came together despite a freak 1 a.m. hailstorm. Wow, and brown bears stealing coolers from the other campsites.
They're picnic baskets.
Sounds like it was a blast. Another bear came by for movie night. They watched Days of Thunder naturally. So how do you get this level of awesome fun? Head over to racelucky.com and sign up for one of their open racers. But go quick, they fill up fast. Looking to have Kathy back on the show soon with some super cool East Coast news.
Dun, dun, dun.
Snap.
Hey, did anybody see the bear video that ran across the racetrack at Chattahoochee or whatever it is? What's that up there?
Calibogie.
No, and I was about to blame this on you watching YouTube videos before you go to bed about cats and bears and like random dancing animals and stuff. It's so weird.
No, but it was true. There's a video out. It's been on everybody's Facebook and everybody's Insta social media stuff up at Calibogie. A little bear ran across the thing. It's pretty cool.
Every time I
sorry,
see
what was it like?
So for those who don't see it, I made my fingers run across the screen.
four fingers, not just
fingers.
the two like a normal person would do. He's doing all four.
That's right.
Every time I hear of a creature running across the track, I always remember the deer, and it's I did not receive an invitation to be on the boat. Perhaps I should crash into it.
Yep.
Yep. Main topic time. We've been talking about it already. Lake. Somebody else say it. I can't say it.
Shargagagog man, Shagagog, Chobunga Gungamog.
Gog.
I was singing the song.
Okay.
Go canoeing
On Lake.
Chargog, Magog, etc. Yes. All right.
Before we get into this is so last week Jeff called this the East Coast All-Star Race, and Jeff, I got to tell you, spot on. This was just a fantastic weekend.
Mentally, you never said that all weekend. I didn't know if you were having a good time. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys understand this or not, but I really enjoy race weekend.
Apparently. So, hey, this time we actually predicted okay, maybe because we actually know these people. We called Momrat's win second in a row. It's a well-earned victory, and we know because we really tried to make them earn it and gave them the transmission that they needed to do it. So, how about that? And we didn't.
Honestly, in return, what did they do for us when they got their check?
They gave it to Aaron,
which is just awesome. Mirrors
Absolutely.
Albertalli, fantastic.
And one of the guys on the team also bid on some of that bacon for about $200. So
he took home a slab of Soggy's meat, put it right in his mouth. So, also Black Betty, we didn't really talk about them, because you never know. They were at point. They finished second. It was fantastic. The Cressida stayed true to form, finished fourth, their best to date. Great job there. Hamza made sure the BMW was not involved in a race. So, it was Anvil reliable all day Saturday. Eventually had some issues in the end. But they climbed as high as 11th and finished 58th. Everyone had a good time, though.
Hold on there. I just want to mention, it was a spectacular three-pedal Mafia weekend, even though you did not mention the Honda.
True.
All four cars of the three-pedal Mafia at one point were between 11th and 1st.
Correct.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And 3 finished really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the BMW lost its left rear wheel again.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 in the top 5.
Yeah, 2 in the top 5.
We ended, yes.
Top 5.
Right. But even Saturday when we ended the day, it was 3rd, 4th, and 6th. And it
All right,
would have
enough
been,
about us. Let's talk about it.
Would've
I
been-
like talking about us.
would have been 1st, 3rd, and 6th if a damn wire hadn't gotten that tire. Anyway, FRS Johnson Toyota and their Solara, they were 40th. They must have had some problems. The Scotch Rocket 924 was really fast and then broke because that's what it does. Silly Nannies, they invited Jeff to take a shower with them and leave the door open. They proved to be fast, had some issues.
They did not. Is this
It's
this
hilarious.
a thing?
Actually, ask Jeff about a Silly Nanny shower story next time you see it.
I didn't hear this story.
You leave door open. It's okay.
No, it's okay. You leave door open.
They're just great guys. They really are.
Oh, watch them. Set up their cars in a trailer, though.
Their 350Z was terrible, and it was also the loudest thing on track. Roland said it hit 106 decibels going down the straight. It was so loud. Hey, but they were having fun, so that's good.
Yeah.
Bazinga, their Z, they faced mechanical problems. Called it. Finished 94th. Yeah, that motor's tragic. We know firsthand. One Tire Fire. One Tire Fire when they ran was very fast, and they started Sunday in 2nd, but were out of contention with an oiling issue. Finished 33rd. Reminds me of another fast car that led the race for a bit on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyway, the Adventurous. The garage neighbors hit him with the Hein! 98 Ranger finished 59th after having to reinforce their suspension. They did to their pickup, which we were going to do to the Ombre before we sold it, by building a totally new rear suspension. We were talking about doing a 3-link with a Panhard. They were a little smarter. They just grafted the entire rear end of a Mustang GT to their Ford Ranger. Go ahead, Chris.
Next time you see that car, look straight down the left side, like and then look straight down the right side at the wheels. It's kind of like when my Quadra-Steer Suburban is going around a corner. That's pretty much what it looks like, and it's not four-wheel steering.
They did it well. I just said they did it.
Yeah, but just get the visual one of these days around those guys. It's great.
Yeah.
You mentioned that on Saturday when I got the Honda out on Sunday. I was passing them on the straightaway, and I'm like, Holy crap. He was not kidding. Dear God, it's like Herbie when it splits into two cars and it keeps going down the road the same direction.
Front tires don't exactly follow the rear tires in a straight line.
It's like the TR used to be, is none of the four wheels are pointing the same direction at any given time.
The best part is like Friday, was it Friday night or Saturday morning? I can't remember. That's Friday day, I think. They were trying to do like thrust angle with the strings. And they were having like the worst trouble doing it. So
because the car is a trapezoid.
No. I went over to him and I was like, which
parallelogram?
What's your method? Like they weren't really sure how their method. They were like, well, the front wheels are straight, so we're doing the front wheels off. We're doing the back wheels off the front wheels. I was like, that's backwards, guys. You got to start with the back. Never mind. Whatever. Have fun.
Despite all of that, it's still a really quick car.
It's not bad. They put a lot of effort into it. A lot of effort.
They do. And they're good dudes.
Yeah, they're awesome. Like hanging with them. So Rusty Tier Racing and their Fiero, which has beaten us a couple of times back in the day in the B, their Trans Am Junior theme, was pretty quick on track but finished 66th because it's a Fiero. Sabrina Duncan's rerun and the 58 Sunbeam Rapier was awesome. It kept going around and around and around. It was always predictable. They're never in our way. Got him to 53rd overall. Thought it had a shot at the IOE.
Yeah.
Didn't.
I thought
we'll
it
get
was
to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so too. If you can make a Sunbeam Rapier go around and around and around, you'd think you'd win, but I guess not. Italian AF. I mentioned them last time. It's As Franco. They had a Fiat. It was fantastic. And then the drive shaft just totally obliterated itself on turn one.
Do you see what it says there?
The way you wrote it is even better. It left its drive shaft.
I think
Oh God, I did. I totally wrote it left its drive shaft, but it's still apropos.
Oh yeah,
because it was right there coming into turn one.
Yeah,
I was gonna fix it, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna leave that.
They got
shaft,
90.
It's shaft.
It did. It's shaft.
Yeah.
Shaft. Whatever.
Shaft. It's shaft.
So they ended up 92nd overall. I think there was 100 cars.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the bottom.
But what was nice, as soon as they realized that they had no drive shaft, they pulled way off of turn two, like got themselves way up in the grass.
Oh, good. Well, they probably had no option.
There.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the funny ones. I don't know, funny. Sentra. I guess the Sentra is funny because Sasha is funny. He was the 27th overall, and his kebabs were incredible. Yeah. I don't know how you get chicken that melt in your mouth. It was awesome. We like the tuna here, all one word. Chevy Toyota Supra, 32nd. The Pro Band-Aid Solutions, 96 Celica, 86th. That's not good. They're safe. All right, so let's talk about the
they can't
notables.
go fast enough to hurt themselves, apparently.
Pro Band-Aid, though. Woo! All right, so the notables. We have the Ciso Motorsports, 7th overall, won Class B. Dead Horse Beaters finished 13th overall, took Class C, which is really pretty good for a Class C car.
Some of these cars, too. The first one's a Civic with a B swap. Dead Horse Beaters, that's the 60s Mustang with the Honda Odyssey V6 in the back.
In the back,
for people
yes.
that don't know. Yeah.
And the front, yes. Okay, good. Thank you. The Boston Whiners had the fastest lap of the weekend, 125.
What car was that, Chris?
It's a red and white E30 that broke promptly. They're usually very, very aggressive.
Yeah, they were when they were out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were back out Sunday in the afternoon. And yeah, dear God, that car was fast. It could pull the Civic down the straightaway, and that's the only car that I knew that could pull the Civic down the straightaway.
Yeah. IOE awarded to the team. We like the tuna here, and their Monte Carlo that identifies as a Supra. Org Choice went to Cheese Bolt Enterprises, which we've talked about these guys before. They took their donated car and cage and were up and running after the write-off in NJMP, the people that got hit by the car that decided to pass on the grass, and they were kind of taken up by that group. Go ahead.
So I was passing them. And, I've talked to them, they're South Jersey guys, and every time I would pull up behind them, on the rear wiper, they had a please stay off the grass sign, right? And they would, turn the wiper on, and I would hit the Godzilla horn, we're waving at each other, and then I would pass them because I thought they were waving at me. And then they said, no, that's just on,
Like
on
slow.
intermittent, and we've left it on the whole race. I swear, I thought they were waving to me every time I came behind them.
Oh,
Go, Chris.
Hey, David E. from that team, though, got a shout out to David. He gave us a absolutely pristine copy of the brochure for the 2005 Acura NSX.
Oh, Mr. Eckel, thank you very much.
Pretty.
Oh, I like that.
Chrissy's showing it to us now, folks. If you, the audience, could only see this.
Because it's on our coffee table, which I'm sitting next to, so that's why I have it at hand. It's lovely. Thank you again for that. You guys rock. It's awesome to see you guys back out there. So, you're well deserved of a trophy. Heroic Fix went to the Eastbound and Down in their Impreza Outback. Judge's Choice and Lumino's Lust went to the FNC and their Volkswagen Long Roof for Life.
Long Roof for Life.
I Got Screwed went to the LOL NSA Corolla after it got wadded up in a red flag incident. Oh, red flags are never fun. But
Moscow Mule! Moscow Mule!
Oh my gosh, I love these guys. They are so great. They're so into they're so good.
Yeah, I didn't realize until this race they were the same Corolla as the googly-eyed Corolla. Like when they showed up at New Jersey, I didn't realize it was the same car. And then I talked to him at this race, and I was like, I know you guys. I know this car from years and years and years ago.
It's gotten fast over the years.
Fast. Yeah, it is quick.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, that's very sad. But those guys are awesome. So the life of the paddock went to Angry Pork Racing. There was a new team that took our bribe, and they were in costume apparently, but whatever.
That's a team. Yeah.
and apologized.
And apologized. We're not mad anymore.
And they were
a little.
The regional award went to the Race is Short and Nights Are Long. Long Island was Rusty Numbers, formerly the Bob Ross car.
And that's because they drove home from Connecticut to Long Island and took the ferry to go home to swap a Ford 5-liter into their BMW that previously had a BMW motor in it. Like, they decided to do this mid-race, so this is a good idea.
Well, they didn't decide to. It's their BMW motor destroyed itself.
You'd think it'd be easier to find another BMW motor and just put that in, and you could do that in the paddock, but no. So
Not in Connecticut. Connecticut, Subaru, sure, but BMW, no.
Are you kidding
got to
me?
go to Long Island.
There's something, There's Fairfield County. Like, BMWs are like Civics in Fairfield County. So, anyway.
Okay, so if we didn't mention your team name, let us know. We would love to hear about you, and especially if we know that you're listeners, we want to hear from you. Email us, and then Fuss at Mental, because he's the one who types it all up. Mm-hmm. So,
or give us obscure NSX swag. That always gets you a mention.
Hell yeah! All the day.
So we're talking about the main topic time. Jeff, you gave us a really good lowdown on how the weekend was going to go.
Well, yeah, I definitely talked about some of my favorite things, including annoying the track management at this race.
Which this weekend went to Chris, because Chris got his butt chewed on Sunday morning.
You did? I didn't realize this.
Man. He lost 5 pounds.
What? One guy with a bad attitude yelled at me for idling the motor getting gas that I was buying.
Oh, really?
From them. Yes.
I didn't hear about that.
Shut it off! Shut it off right now! Shut it off right now!
I just stared at him with like one eyebrow up, going like, "Really, guy? Really? If you just said, hey, we have a law here, we can't run motors in the morning. Oh, okay, great. That perfect, great. Instead of, I'm going to get super aggro with you for no reason.
We're gonna bash the Thompson people right now. So
there are pit bikes that are louder than the Civic at Idle.
Yeah,
the Civic's pretty loud still. But
at Song at Idle, nothing.
So,
right,
so
let's keep
we
going.
all know that you can't get in until Friday at 7:30 a.m. and it's always difficult. There's kind of like some lines, but they had no ability to handle the onslaught of 7:30 a.m. at Friday this time. We actually ended up waiting on the street, blocking the streets, because they couldn't get everyone in and staging. So
the problem is they put everybody in the outer little tiny lot instead of letting everyone come all the way in down the road to the big inner lot, and to the, that's how they did it last year, and that worked out great. But also, they had a total of how many employees checking all of Lemon's in?
One young woman,
who
nice
didn't realize
young woman.
how long the line was. Mental's mic's
Mental's
off.
microphone
He's
is off.
mad though.
He's shaking his fingers.
She was a hardworking young girl, and,
She was.
and Thompson totally hung her out to dry. That was some BS. Because Chrissy, you tried to help her.
I did. I actually told her I'm very sorry. If I didn't have so much to do, I would actually just get behind there and help you. Even if that's not legal, she's like, yeah, it's probably not. I was like, you need help. So I actually went, and then she was like, well, the line's not bad.
Oh no, the line
There were
is like
75 people in line.
Yeah.
So actually, when I went down, I scooted down to ahead of you guys to the paddock, and I found a couple people that looked kind of official, and I was like, so do you work here? And they're like, yeah. I said, the lady up front needs help. Like, somebody's got to go send her up there. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I mean, nobody knows what's happening on the other side of the paddock, so I figured at least I'd try. Get her help.
She needed a phone to like call up and be like,
Yeah.
dude, hey,
Somebody
jerk
get
off,
here.
Get to the gate.
Sure.
Well, and props to her, but downs to Thompson management for doing that to her.
So those of you who know
Not the only
or
problem.
listened or have been around for a while, me and the old track manager had fun together. I mean, no, let's be honest. He may have raised his eyebrow and pretended he didn't like the jokes I was given, but he was having a good time. Like, he would see me from like 60 feet away and crack a wry smile and be like, oh, I don't know what you're going to do, but I know I'm not going to like it. Like, ha, 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 ha.
It was definitely a nemesis kind of thing.
And he couldn't laugh at it.
Like, the Fantastic Shark and the S&M gear and all that. He enjoyed it, and he had fun with it. He would even call on me, to ask questions, and I would always have a ridiculous question. The new track manager guy, I assume he is, the one who gave the drivers meeting for test day, was like, we are not going to have fun here. We're going to, what does this flag mean? And what does this flag mean? And like, just kind of gruff,
I'm still happy they do testing day at a reasonable price. They allow instruction in the seats, and they allow track walk. So I'm going to give them this. We're going to go. This is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Nice job on some of the safety stuff. Poor job on the organization. That's all.
Yeah. So they also jacked the price on the fuel. That was kind of annoying. But anyway, I do want to also say the Thompson track folks are not the only people pissed off at us. It seems that the Walmart people are not happy with us. For those of you who don't know, who've never been there, we all kind of congregate at the same Walmart because Walmart has a corporate policy that you're allowed to camp in their parking lots for one night and one night only if you are a camper. So the Putnam Walmart becomes kind of like a Lemons paddock the night before. And that might not be too thrilling for the current management. Go ahead, Mental.
True.
Well, I'm just hoping that
can't hear him.
normal, microphone's off. But I'm hoping normal retail management is not going to be there because a year managing a Walmart, and I think they commit seppuku because.
But we did put that picture up on our Instagram of just nothing but race trailers filling the entire, and they were fussing at us. But as Amanda Tully pointed out, we all collectively probably dropped about $4,000 in the span of about 3 hours while we all rocked up.
We all
into that
go in
Walmart.
there and buy stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night when no one else is buying stuff except crackheads, and it is fun to see people you see. Yeah, no, there's totally people bringing their children into Walmart at 2:00 in the morning.
Seriously,
What is wrong with these people?
It was 3:00 when we went to bed, and a mother and her kid were unloading their cart from Walmart.
Well,
really?
I'm just gonna say 7:30 in the morning. We don't appreciate.
Oh yes.
Hello in the RV. You need to leave.
The customers are coming, and they're going to fill this parking lot in that spot that you're in at the very back of the parking lot.
700 spots
On a Friday. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because the government checks have already gone out. They've already spent all that money.
Yep.
All right.
Jeff, anything else on the stuff we talked about there?
No, I think that's it. I mean, the blend line at the track seemed to be a trouble for some folks, but we could talk about that during the race.
We warned them.
Yeah.
And honestly, so did Dale. Every time he went out, watch the blend line. And when Dale gets serious, listen.
Yeah, Dale really is trying to save us all from ourselves. And for those who don't know Dale, he's the guy with the beard and the hat that he never takes off.
All the patches
And all the
things
patches
on his jacket.
who watches out for us to be safe fueling or entering the track right. It's Dale and Ken are the two guys. Ken does not have the beard.
They're
Dale
both
does.
fab.
They are
They-
wonderful, wonderful
They
people.
have
and they
checked
really-
your wristband
Yeah.
and your belts.
They're
Every
great
time.
people, so always be nice to them and give them a beer or something because they're really actually genuinely looking out for our safety, which is nice.
And good people in general.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you got anything about the track you want to say, or go right to Chrissy,
I
or
said it.
mental?
I
or...
said what I thought. I think the track did some things right, some things wrong. Hopefully they learn from it.
So for the paddock, just kind of going on the paddock situation, I felt like, I felt like we were kind of in isolation. We didn't really see many people. I know that's probably because that's where we were. We were in the garages, and the paddock just stretched so far that there were people. We only went to see the cars that are closest to the bridge. Didn't go any further than that, other than the bonfire. So we saw some cars come through tech, but that was quick, and they were busy when we were busy. And there's plenty of people that came without their cars. So the potlucker kind of walked by and said hi to us, and we didn't know who they were necessarily. So sorry, not sorry, we didn't see you.
It really is how the other half lived over there. I swear, they were about to be some. There was natives and cannibals, and there be dragons over there, basically.
Yeah, it was Lord of the Flies for sure.
For those of you who don't know about the paddock, there are how many garages? Like
30
15?
total.
30 total, 15 on
Yeah.
each side. And then giant, vast fields of grass. And I wouldn't even say giant, vast fields. It's a pretty tight
Very
paddock
tight
in
fields
general.
of grass.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
And then a black lake and a hill, but everyone's packed in. Yeah.
But we packed in fine. It's just when
Yep.
you're in the garages, you're kind of separated into the little corner of the paddock.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's
Yeah.
talk about practice. What do we do?
We got right out for practice. They had a brief driver meeting, then sent everybody out. It was pretty simple, straightforward, and we tried to do a little fuel burn testing. That worked out great until we got punted, and then fixed it and kept going with our day. And actually got a lot of positive feedback on our track walk, which is nice. So hopefully some people learned from that. They seem to.
And we actually misspoke. There was a second black flag on the grid, and it was when you come off the speedway. I don't know what turn number that would be. I don't know what turn.
7.
I think it's 7. Yeah, when you're driving
exiting the bowl.
straight at it. Yeah, exiting the bowl. When you're driving straight at the plastic barriers, head towards the porta potties. Thank you, Chris, for teaching me that. There is also a black flag station there.
Yep. I actually figured out it's not quite the porta potties. There's like a little exit road that goes into the Black Lake. That's really where you point, is that little exit road.
Was that left or right of the porta potties?
Left.
I don't remember. I was staring at the
Left.
exit road.
I mean, is
Left.
it between the porta potties and the flagging station, or
No,
Other way.
no,
the
other,
way? Okay.
Left.
Yeah, no, I did. Then I didn't go there. That wasn't me. Mental, go ahead.
I'd like to mention that those are the two bravest flag workers I've ever seen, because here's a bunch of crap can, questionable skill, questionable race cars pointed right at them, and they never flinched.
There's
When it was,
there's not just plastic. There's a concrete wall too. Yeah.
Well, but still, that's just a lot of bravery. It was a guy and a girl both Saturday and Sunday, and they were not shy about pointing that black flag at people. So well done on both of them, because they've got some courage.
It's not an easy turn either. I think it's probably my most difficult turn on the track. So, or at least to do it right. So anyway, my wife had loved our video update, but she said she couldn't hear a thing because we were banging on the car so much. So that's really all I have about practice. We really need to get a microphone or something for our dedicated Facebook Live, so I'm going to look into that.
Good call. So I, well, what was the order?
You're up.
Yeah, no, I'm not in
In
order. I'm in
practice.
practice. So
I know.
you went out with
went out.
Bobbin.
Yep. Then I went out with you, and then we crashed, and then we fixed it. And then I went out again, and then I take.
He took
Mental
Menzel,
Yep.
and then Menzel drove by himself.
Yep. And
Matzel went with you, and then Matzel went by himself.
And then I think
And
it was
then-
Chrissy, and then Jeff, and then Tom,
And then I was
or something along those lines.
No. It was Tom, then Jeff, because there was
Yeah.
like 20 minutes left, And Eric was like, "Oh, I didn't go out." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'll split the time with you left. There's only 20 minutes." By the time I got in the car, and by the time I got settled, I looked down. There was like 4 minutes left. I was like, "Nope. Sorry, Eric." So I kind of stole
throttle down. Yep.
And that's why, because I was on the list of people that wanted to go out in practice, I stuck myself in there and make sure I got out. And this time I usually I kind of take it a little slower and just remember where the track goes, but I really try to do practice like I was racing, because that's what speed secrets tell you to do. But I try to be obviously extra safe because of after the accident, I know that there's plenty of people out there that aren't in their mirrors, and they might be new, or they're just not good at what they're doing. So I tried to be aware of people, but really try to take it in and use the time that I had. So I felt pretty good after it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because Chris, that was the first time you and I have been in a car since we both strapped into a Lamborghini at Englishtown years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was absolutely necessary. So you were driving, gave me some great point outs, and then we got in the car, and you very patiently sat there for 3 laps, and then finally you said, "Can I speak now?" While I was screwing it up. I'm like, "Yes, please." And the pointers you gave me around there, and we're going to get into this because our next section is the racing. I dare say between the Honda and the Garage Heroes and Trainings BMW, despite not being the fastest of anything, that was probably the best driving I have done in 5 years. I didn't strap into a car and didn't feel great. I didn't take a lap where occasionally I goof up a corner, but I felt like I knew what I was doing, and the instruction was key to that. I just walked away from that feeling like I left nothing on the field. I was really, really proud of how I drove on that one.
Yeah, it's nice to doing some instruction right away and get going. Mm-hmm. I think it speeds your learning curve up right away. It's like, and you took it really well. Like you're riding along, you got a pretty good hang of where you're supposed to be when, and then applied it fairly well, just with some course corrections along the way. But you pick those right up too. So kudos to you and actually listening to instruction, which is nice. Or applying it.
I just want to say that I pulled up the track map because what I want to talk about is a little bit turnable, and the flag station that we were talking about off the oval is actually 9 in turn 9. So,
okay.
Craig, say what you want to say, because what I want to say comes off yours.
I'm sorry, me?
Yeah,
yes,
it's your turn.
Talk about racing.
Talk about racing. Okay, great. Racing, I thought it was a super awesome start. So I felt like after Friday night's 3 hours of sleep, Thursday to Friday, I decided to sleep a lot. So I bailed out, didn't drink a whole lot, said I'm ready for bed, and put my earplugs in, my face mask on, and I didn't hear you guys at all, except for when you rocked the RV.
Yeah, we rocked it.
You did just
by the RVs are rocking. We're going to bed.
Just when you stepped in it, that just moved it all around. Anyway,
if the RVs are rocking, someone has sleep apnea.
That happened anyway. Anyway, so I was ready to go for the race. I was super stoked about this. I had some butterflies. I made myself a mantra because I was unnecessarily nervous. It says, "You know the track, you know the car, get out and be awesome," and I did.
I love that. Oh my God, that is fantastic. That should be a shirt.
I just needed something to get rid of the butterflies. So car felt great. I had a really good time dicing through traffic. Normally we all kind of bitch about it's just starting, because it's full of yellows and there's a lot of cars around. But I had a really good time. That's because the car's fast and just trying to figure out where everybody's going. But I really didn't have. So I was in the car from got in about 8:45, 8:50, and then got out at 12:30. So it was about 3:30, 3:45 hours. So there were some times where I started feeling a little tired, but I never took a whole lap off. So I really tried to make sure that I was sticking with it. Didn't drink a whole lot, which made me dehydrated for literally till now. But kind of seriously, because I was really dehydrated, but I think we only had a couple yellows, and I enjoyed the double yellows that I got because I needed the second to stretch my hands. I think the biggest problem that I had was that I was kind of white knuckled the whole time because the cars really demands a lot of your effort. And I know it's actually better. And Chris is going to say it was better. It's better than it used to be, but still, when you're doing something, when you're hyped up and doing you're active for 3.5 hours, and your arms and muscles and hands, and I still am getting pains in my arms. It's ends up being a lot. So
bring a snack next time. Seriously, when I was out for the end, I had my snack at the Yellow.
So you stole my snack.
That was after. You could have brought it with you. That was later.
I know. I didn't bring it with me.
We're not going to start blaming each other for what is or isn't in the car, are we?
Nope. So it was on the table. I actually had one before I got in, and it was on the table, and I had intended to bring that with me, and I did not. So that was my fault.
So I'm just going to jump in here and say that Chrissy and I actually swapped our traditional places for this. I probably start more often than Chrissy does, although it changes. It hasn't been always that way. But how did you like the number 1 slot in a serious race?
Because you were asking for it, and we all kind of went, yeah, hell yeah. Put Chrissy in the car for the start. She'll throw it out.
So I had done this.
You brought it in 3rd place. That's fantastic.
I did. And I think somebody said I was in 1st for just a little bit. But it was, it was great. This is exactly what we did before when we came in 2nd. So 2 years ago, especially on my Facebook memories, we did the same thing. This is exactly the same order that we've done. I like it because I think it's a good place for me because I am not the hot lap person, you all know that, but I am great with traffic management, so I really enjoy dicing around the cars, and especially since it's fast enough to be able to put yourself somewhere pretty reliable, being able to see where all the cars are and getting around them. That's what I like, the part of racing that I like, not the hot laps, fastest lap that you can do by yourself kind of driving. So no, I loved it. I had a great time. I was psyched for it. I've been psyching myself up for a couple weeks, and I liked it. It's good.
Yeah, I'll say Chrissy and I probably both don't do as well in empty tracks as we do in busy tracks. So I will say that I didn't have butterflies like, oh crap, somebody's going to crash into me, or oh crap, that. I had a little bit of butterflies with the pressure, thinking about going for it.
That's what mine were. Like, crap, we got to do this kind of thing.
And I went in with a mantra that I think I told some people. It was improve our position. If Chrissy hands me the car in 10th, I got to give it to Chris in 5th. If Chrissy hands it to me in 3rd, I got to give it to him in even better than that. And
which you did.
She did. So
and she did not make it easy on you, because she brought it in with bam. Yeah. That was an awesome effort.
So I got in. As soon as I got in, the nerves were gone. I'm going to be honest. I got in. I immediately got up to speed. I made like on my 3rd lap, I overcooked one and put a wheel off. And other than that, I was pretty stable the entire time. Like, I think it was that one that collected me and also probably bent the splitter. But besides that,
and I got to say that mostly pulled out when I cranked down on the tie-down straps on the way home. That angle on the splitter mostly pulled itself back out. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a big plywood splitter, and I kind of knocked it in the dirt. But anyway, I felt great. I actually felt way better than I did the last time we went for it 2 years ago. I think I've improved a lot thanks to NASA Great Lakes, and actually the research from this podcast. A lot of the things we talk about has been, for me to talk about on the podcast, I have to research it. So going in and doing a lot more reading and a lot more serious thought, I think has really helped me. I was also on the lead lap, and I was also running down the eventual winner. And Chris called on the radio to tell me that, but I didn't hear it because the radio was really crackly. So probably the best time I've ever had on a racetrack, and I had no idea I was having it.
Well, all you heard was, don't F this up.
Yeah. I was trying to clean it up. Yeah, the Honda got hella loud. So
it is hella loud. Everybody kept saying, like, you're screaming. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I just do that anyway. But I really think that the LAR car is so loud. And you just can't tell how.
Apparently it hit 99 on the decibel meter. So We're putting another muffler in it, in the only spot I can put it.
And I don't think that's bad.
Which is in the center tunnel. Is like it's the only spot left to put a muffler, and we're trying to put one there. See what happens. Little one.
We'll figure it out.
Work. It's something.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chris. You have some more to say? No, he's drinking his drink. I'll just say that I went out there and I did what I had to do, and I used the mantras, and I used all the things that I learned, and I did my best to go as fast as I could without putting my nose where it doesn't belong, but without waiting around. And the 2 turns that I did poorly in the past, which was 4 and 9, 4 is the hairpin, and 9 is coming off the speedway. I think I now get them. I think I get them right way more often than I don't get them right this time. And it has to do with the research and the track walk and listening to everyone talk about it and right seat with Chris and everything else. So Thompson is probably my best track right now.
I agree. Mine too.
Cool.
Although I'm pretty good at New Hampshire too.
It's coming up.
And Jersey in the rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Until you go sliding way off into the grass.
Yeah,
I'm totally sent up.
You
Spin,
rock at New Jersey in the rain.
Yeah.
Until I don't.
Right. All right.
Chris, what do you think about the race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fantastic in that Jeff handed me the car in second place. No pressure. And I got it up to first. I was in first for a while. And then apparently somehow a piece of safety wire got jammed through the sidewall of the left front tire. And I'm driving around.
Check our Instagram for that. That is not an exaggeration. How the F that happened, I will forever never understand.
So what I'm going to do is eventually when that tire is dismounted, I'm going to keep it and see what it looks like on the inside because I got to see how this thing is in there.
Because you can't pull it out still.
No.
Did you try? No, you can't.
I mean, really hard.
It's deep.
Yeah. So, we were in first when we got that, and I'm just going around and I'm saying, this track has a lot of these long right-hand sweepers, and I noticed my traction's going away. It just didn't feel right. It was soft, and I felt a rumbly, and I said something's going on, mental.
So I was and we'll talk about this in a second, the Garage Heroes BMW, and I roll up on the Honda, which I know I shouldn't be doing. And I see you, and you've got your right hand on the window mirror. And even though your face shield is down, I could feel the frown through your helmet. And I dropped my head and went, oh, dang.
Because once every lap it got a little worse, and then we slowed down for a yellow, and the car was pulling left, and then again the gas would pull to the right, so something wasn't right. And I could hear a little like grumbly noise, and I figured, all right, I got a ball joint broken, almost broken. The wheel's about to fall off. So once I realized that, I did one slow lap just to get back in with my fist up out the window and got in there and pulled right in. And everybody jumped. I told as I'm coming in, something's wrong with the left front suspension. Check it. And it did, and everyone said, "Oh, flat tire!" And they did a super fast pit stop, the best ever they could do. It was really fantastic.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, it still cost us 3 laps in the lead, and but okay, it was.
And I would offer it only cost you 3 laps, and that includes pulling into the garage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, totally.
Friggin', and I was in a car, so rock on everybody on 3 pedal mile.
So I have it here in front of me on Speed Hive. Does anyone want to guess how long it took us, including the on and the off, and the lap? Because it
6 minutes.
8 minutes.
Ooh,
6 minutes and 16 seconds.
That is awesome. We did
friggin' incredible.
We did such a good job.
You figure we're doing 2-minute laps. That's probably a 4-minute.
Minute 30.
Get it in. Yeah, minute 30. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You pulled in, we had the jack ready, we pulled off the side skirts, we figured out we diagnosed flat tire. I ran over to get the tire. You already had the wheel off, and we put the wheel back on, we prepped the torque, we torqued it down. I mean, there were 5 people
drive
there,
around the building at idle speed to not get a speeding in the pits.
I mean, but there were 5 people there that we had everything before we even got there.
Yep.
It was awesome. We did,
and just like you said, we didn't know it was a tire.
Yeah.
That's why diagnosis.
We were ready to look under the car.
Yep.
Three pedal mafia suckers.
It
Moving
worked
on.
great. And then got it back out, and I was running low on gas at the end of the day, so I had to go into fuel conservation mode, which was a lot of like half throttles and early upshifts, but still going fast enough. But I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep up the wick all the way up pace. I was a little sad to have some active blocking from a BMW. It was a very dull colored BMW, not a brightly colored one. Really kind of a dick thing to do, actively blocking me for quite a while on Saturday. Wasn't very nice.
And there was nothing that you could do to like kick them off, like to just try not hit them, but like
actively blocking, like making themselves huge, extremely hard to pass. I would have had to basically crash into them. They were fast enough that I couldn't really, just do anything else. But I was on them for 10 laps, right on them, and like they would actively move in any way that possibly to slow me down and keep me from getting next to them to even try to make a pass. It was pretty sad. It's the first time I've seen that ever happen, but not surprised.
Not ever. I had that happen in the boat once at Summit.
Oh yeah, it's true. People would actively block the boat. This boat's not getting past me.
Yep.
It's a boat, and then they'd realize, oh shit.
But it was
boat.
half my stint that it was like a Porsche that would not let me buy. So we've had that happen before, but it's not fun.
Poor etiquette on the part of them. That's for
so let's round up the racing before Mental wants to talk about the potluck.
Oh no, I'm going to talk about it later.
Mental does want to talk about the racing, but sorry, I this is just how it all shook out.
Oh.
While Chris was,
I'll just say, aside from that, I thought in general most of the racing was very clean, like pretty decent for a Northeast race, not super aggro. Plenty of people, when they saw the Civic coming up behind them, were making space for the faster cars. Everyone was kind of running their own race. Really, I thought people were doing a pretty nice job this weekend all around.
Agreed.
Even like people weren't crowding the Sunbeam. Like people were given the Sunbeam room, which is great. Things like that. Really,
it's not
nice
the
job.
widest track that we run on either. So
no, they were doing a nice job. It was
especially
I
in
think,
some
overall
portions.
better than average for a Northeast race. There
Agreed.
we go.
I hinted this before. I do think this is probably some of the best driving I've ever done, and I apologize for the freedom noise in the background. But I had great instruction with Chris on Friday, so I learned the track. This was my first time actually at Thompson because I was always overseas whenever you guys did this race. And Bill Fisher and Alan Danvers, because they're both awesome, said, hey, you want to take a shift in the BMW? So I took an early shift in the BMW. Then Bill got a cramp and Alan got in the car, and Alan got into a little bit of trouble because he's still getting used to a fast car. And I ended up finishing the day on Saturday. So I had a lot of laps and it was a lot of fun. And that BMW, that same BMW that Chris, if you look at the last bit of footage on the GoPro from Saturday.
I saw it. I saw it live and I saw it on the GoPro. Yeah.
So it literally opens with that BMW, that E46 trying to go 3 wide into a narrow corner before you go onto the straightaway. And I expressed my opinion to that with one finger. And that's how the video opens up. And I managed to walk away from it. And that's when, D-Bag started to try and block the Civic because I shouldn't have been able to outrun the Civic. But I had a great time. So, Bill, Alan, thank you for letting me have the car because it really hyped me up for Saturday. Or rather, I'm sorry, Sunday. So Saturday night, everyone else is going to the bonfire. They're all having fun. I deliberately limited myself to 3 beers. And I think at 9 o'clock, I was in bed. And I talked to everybody when they came in the trailer, and they're like, why are you in here? Because I'm opening tomorrow. Yeah, at noon. And then Chris goes, I actually appreciate this. I appreciate that you're in bed. Sunday morning, I'm going to apologize to Hamza. I'm going to apologize to Chrissy. I'm going to apologize to Jeff, and I'm going to apologize to Jim, and I'm going to apologize to Jeff because I was snapping at everybody because the car was in 4th place, and I was feeling the pressure. And all I had to do, according to Chris, and he was 100% right, was not step on my junk. And that was just rotating through my head. And somehow the weekend, everything that I had got misplaced. Things got moved, and I'm mad at everybody. And I was really, really trying to get myself into a headspace. God bless everyone in the 3-Pedal Mafia because they all walked by and patted me on my shoulders and said, good luck. And it was heartfelt. And I apologize if I made any of you angry. And That shift didn't work out, but I ended up closing out the day in the Civic after Chris got it fixed. We'll talk about that later. Had a great time. Best racing I've done in years.
So let me summarize the rest because we're running really long here, and I do want to get to some of these other highlights. Chris, how'd the Honda do on Sunday?
Well, we started off in 4th place on the same lap as the RX. Mental took it out. They hit green flag, and by lap 2, the check engine light came on, and the car was way down in power and sounded terrible. So we brought it in. Diagnosis, hooked the laptop up to it, drove it around a little bit more, checked the codes, found that we were having a misfire in cylinder 1, changed coil, that didn't fix it, checked the plug, that was fine, put a compression tester on it, that was fine. So then we swapped coils and injectors with other cylinders, and the misfire followed the injector, not the coil. So I drove an hour and something away in my mom's Mazda CX-5 to go get another injector at the only parts store around that had one. Drove back, put it in, it was a 5-minute job, and sent Mental out for the rest of the day.
So that 5-minute job was on lap 336, and it was a 3-hour, 37-minute lap.
Yep.
Darn.
Other highlights for the rest of the team. The Cressida killed it. The RX-7 was amazing. Big props to the RX-7 guys. They were in the hunt with us the whole weekend. I was actually dicing it with Greg in the RX-7 when I was chasing down Amanda. I had no idea. I thought I was chasing
You're just like
Betty.
just having fun.
And it turns out I was chasing down the lead. But they were great. They were pitch perfect. They got a couple of black flags due to the scantily clad guest driver that we love. And really ended up 5 laps out of first place? 7 laps out of first place?
Something like that, yeah.
So one of the most successful finishes ever. We've only been twice in our entire team history, right? The Honda 2 years ago, and then this week.
This will be second, yeah.
This will be the second time that we were second.
Yep, highest finish we've ever had.
Cressida ended up in 4th. They had a black flag or 2. One of them was...
They had a passenger yellow and a contact.
Okay, yeah. I knew it wasn't anything serious. And then the BMW did great, except had a little bit of mechanical and...
the wheel fell off. A little mechanical, you know?
It didn't fall off completely. It was just kind of cockeyed.
Mostly fell off.
I was going to say it had a little black flag mechanical for dripping fuel, but it turns out it was dripping radiator. Yeah. And then the wheel fell off. So... Yep. But they got it back together and got back out. I think everyone in the BMW had a good time, even though they didn't finish up high in the standings.
Yep.
They were 11th at one point. Go ahead, Mental.
So I was in the Dutch oven washing dishes, listening to Greg and Bruce talk about strategy when Betty was threatening for the lead. And they were very excited, but it was clear that this is unexplored territory for them. And I love those guys, and I will always love those guys, but all of a sudden they were serious, and it was no longer a Greg and Bruce conversation. It was, no, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And I'm going to say every step that they took was absolutely the right step, because if they'd have done anything additional, they would have finished like 17th. So they were in the right position, and they just placed themselves in case Momrath something went wrong with them. It was the right thing to do.
Hey, you never know. Someone's going to take a wire to the tire.
Yeah. They missed a fueling stop in a double yellow, and I thought Dean was going to have a brain aneurysm. So I think they raced amazingly. They need to get into their head to be ready for anything. But no stones go unthrown in a glass house. We also missed a double yellow.
Totally.
That was a little bit outside our window because we weren't ready. So I'm not saying this is anything different, but everyone can improve, including us.
So this is highlights of the weekend, right?
Yes, highlights.
My highlight was the entire paddock stepping up for Aaron. Really,
Woo!
I mean, at the end of the day, for the potluck, the people throwing in the bucket of money there. most of the winners, I think A and C and IOE all threw their earnings in for Aaron for that.
God bless all of you.
The Lemontarians, actually it was Halfdan who bought the bacon and
for like $200 and then gave more than 200.
Yep, exactly.
I think.
Yes,
yep. And Momrath too.
I hugged him for that because he's awesome. That guy is fantastic.
It was Halfdan and then Momrath who bought the other ones, and just everyone was just doing everything. Everyone stepped up for Aaron. It was fantastic, and also Chrissy and. We bought some sausages.
Expensive cheddar fest.
Yes. We'll have those someday. It's delicious, expensive sausages, but that's great. So that was fantastic, and I also really was. It was amazing having 3 p.m. dominate the top 10 for most of the day Saturday. Like that was also super nerve-wracking, but.
Super nerve-wracking.
I think Chrissy may have shortened her life by 2 years this weekend.
No, it's
so much easier when we're not winning.
It is. I kept saying that. Right. No. And actually, when I'm in the car, it's one thing, and that's also why I like starting, because I gave you the car the way it is, and then I just have to worry for the next 12 hours to like, oh my God. I'm like, we watched our. We should have been watching Race Monitor like we were watching our 401ks, not watching it. That's Eric's line. But yes, that happened. Okay, this is not my highlight. Everyone beat my expectations of bringing food to the potluck. I swore we were going to have 6 salads for 200 people, and there was so much food. It was so awesome. That was my highlight. Besides, we had so much meat. Everybody left seriously full. Let's do it again at New Hampshire because it was awesome.
Can we let somebody else organize it this time, and we just bring food? Or no,
I'll organize
it's probably us.
Do you want it to be somebody else, or do you want it done right?
That's true.
Those are all right.
I don't know. It's good.
I'll have a new smoker by then. So the
okay, good. The chicken was delicious anyway.
I know it was good.
I'm late to the show notes on this one, so I don't get to take anything that Chris and Chrissy didn't already say because it's all true. So I'm going to throw out Bill, Alan. Thank you for the time in the BMW. I had a great time. We managed to finish that thing for 21st. So Jeff, that was awesome. We did a great job with that one, and prepping that one really set me up for success in the Honda. Thank you.
Woohoo! You guys already hit it. My highlight. It's all about the people. People were the greatest thing about Lemons, and the racing. I guess that's great too. Dean fixed my bike. I don't know. You guys already said it all.
I rode your bike. I felt hella dangerous doing it. Like, I got to get the first. And I said, I'm not shifting this thing into second, because I don't know which way is second.
And then you shifted to second and nearly dumped Eric on his ass.
Yep.
Dean, It took him probably, I watched him for about 6 minutes trying to get it started. He couldn't find the right gear. It was up, down, down. And he wasn't going anywhere. The engine was on. Goes nowhere, and so he's just sat there for a while.
And then he dumped it inside the garages on full throttle.
Oh no!
Because it has no kill switch. There is the only way to shut it off is to put your hand over the carburetor. So he's hitting every button he possibly can, and it won't shut off. So anyway,
look, here's the deal, people. If you have a mini bike that's broken, just bring it to a Lemons paddock. People come over and say, "Can I ride this?" No, man, it doesn't work. Oh, I'll fix it if I can ride it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I made that joke. That, like, if you need anything, and I don't care if it's a chainsaw or a generator or whatever it is, you need something mechanically fixed. It is Lemons is a moth to a flame. Oh, there's a mechanical device that doesn't work, and 30 geniuses will come over and make it work.
Well, there you go.
All right,
low lights of the weekend. Me, none. Weekend was perfect. Actually, I'm going to change that. On Sunday, I went out on the Ombre. I was going to open the Ombre, and on the third lap, it lost the brakes, and it was like hella bad, and I sent them out for brakes, and then by the time the parts showed up, I couldn't help Alan fix it. Like, I really wanted to be there to help Alan, and I had to, like, return the RV and stuff.
Hey, at least you didn't have to make 3 trips to get it on Thursday night at 1 o'clock in the morning. That'd be terrible. My low light is a flat tire went in the lead. That was kind of a shame.
Totally.
That's bad.
Yeah, I guess the hit during practice it was my low light. Unfortunately, we got it fixed. It was no problem. Minimal because you're good at fixing those.
It's more
parts.
dented than it was, and we lost another trailing arm, and they're getting low on the ground. So.
Right, but yeah, and also just the experience of getting hit and spinning is not fun. So especially in the beginning of the weekend. So that's my low light.
So my low light was the fuel injector, but not because of what you think. Yes, I was very proud to take that car out there in fourth place. Folks, if you haven't picked up on this one, the least emotionally expressive one of us, which is not to say that he's a robot, is Chris. We love this guy.
Robot.
But he is the leader of the team. He does excessive stuff to make sure that the car is ready for everyone. He gave up his shift so that I could drive on Sunday. And when that fuel injector went down, Chrissy, you and I talked about it. I didn't feel bad that the fuel injector was down, that I wasn't going to go out there and dominate. I felt bad because I could see, and after seeing it Saturday when the wire went in the tire and then seeing you work on the car, seeing the pain in Chris's face because he really wants to provide a good car for everyone that comes and drive with him. That broke my heart more than the car not being out there.
Car's good. Just needs to have a bunch of things fixed now. So
Hey,
working
being
on it.
perfect only buys you a lottery ticket because
Absolutely.
a wire in the tire or a bad fuel injector will end your weekend.
Absolutely.
What is the best thing you learned all around the table? Mental, start it. We'll go backwards.
So took out on Friday, got a lot of great pointers from Chris, was able to go out in the Garage Heroes and Training BMW and throw down. And because Bill got a cramp and Alan kept collecting a lot of black flags, I ended up finishing the day, which was actually kind of cool because Chris and I never get to be on the racetrack at the same time. And we ended up being out there at the same time while I was in the Garage Hero training. So I got to really, really learn Thompson. And I feel really comfortable with that track now, even though I've only raced there one time.
An awesome
Chrissy,
track.
go ahead.
I think the thing that we learned was going to be clear about who's doing what during a pit stop. We used to be good at this. We were not during my switch. Don't make the driver do too much, which is what we learned throughout the rest of the day, especially if you've been in the car forever. So I didn't do my best. I was really frustrated. Chris was frustrated with me, but I had nothing left. So if you want to do a good pit stop and you really care about them, which we do, get the good people to do it, get the non-tire people to do it, the right people to do it, figure out what they're going to do, be clear about it. You'll do better that way. Go ahead.
Chris, I'm going to jump in here and say that I learned I can do 3.5 hours without any water, and I can plug in my helmet when the pit crew forgets to do it.
Yeah. Oh, I did not forget. I couldn't find it.
Oh,
I couldn't find it. Sometimes it's on different sides of your head, and I didn't know where it was.
It's all right.
I knew I forgot it.
Yep.
I was like driving down the straight in yellow like this. I actually had very little yellow, so I probably wouldn't have drank much anyway because I only drink during long yellows. So, and my new earplugs, they don't plug my ears well enough and didn't keep the sound out, so I gotta get rid of them and maybe
get some of the fuse. Get to the fuse, the molded
I have
ones.
The fuse kit. I just have to do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, do it.
And I also learned the silly nannies will shower with you without the door open.
Yep.
No, it's okay. You just leave
the door open.
You leave
It's all
the
right.
door open. Door open. And honestly, they're worse friends to have than the silly nannies because they can fix just about anything.
Yeah.
Chris, what you doing?
I learned that our team can do a really fast tire change pit stop if we need it. Everyone just stepped up. There we go. Okay.
What would we learn? What would we do differently next time? At the potluck, I'm going to eat something that's a vegetable, not just the meat.
Overrated. I had some kale salad and then all the meat because it was, and all of it was like homemade. It was so
good. It was
and I love you're the healthiest eater among all of us, and you're like, salads for
I eat vegetables all week. I can eat more meat, MOAR meat, at a potluck, especially when I didn't make it.
Because it's the thing you can guarantee is gluten free. You're like, that steak and that bacon has no bread in it whatsoever. I'm going to
actually not true, but that we won't go there.
And that Sputnik kebab that manages to keep the grapes juicy and the chicken melt in your mouth. Oh my God.
So good.
Who else got something?
Chris.
I'm going to stay further away from blue Sentras that are not wagons. That's what I'm going to do.
Unless it's after the race and they come over because they were really nice.
Okay. I think we should have more spares for the car. So if there's a problem, we won't be off track so long. That's what I would like.
New motor. New motor. I used to have a spare for everything. And how many years have we been doing this? And I've never had a fuel injector go bad. And today we had a fuel injector go bad.
Seriously.
Well,
and the fact that no parts store had one within an hour and 15 minutes tells you they don't go bad very often.
It's true.
I'm trying. Every time something fails, I bring more of those.
Well, that's it. The reason you have spares is because stuff breaks and you buy extras.
And this is the Jerry Ringel lesson. When he finally got the Thunderbird to where it would run, all the weird stuff started to break that you can't find anywhere else. So, yeah, that's how it works.
Yep, trying.
Anyone else do something differently?
So we had a lot of folks come up to me. Hey, I recognize you from the podcast. If I was offensive to you, I'm sorry. I'm really,
That's my
really
line.
It is, but everyone likes you and nobody likes me, which is why they blamed me for the accident. So, folks, I really want to try to be nicer. Thank you all continuously for this. And this is from all four of us. Thank you all so much for listening to this podcast, because our next episode is 100th episode. And when we had the drunken group phone call as I was driving out to Grid Live about this podcast, we never thought 100 episodes was going to happen.
Woo!
It's true. And we'll just say in general, we were all so busy trying to win that we didn't hang out as much as we usually do. So for all the people that I didn't get to say hi to, hi, everybody.
You're looking good. Have you
Hi.
lost weight? Seriously, works out.
No, you looking good. And, looking good is better than feeling good. Hello, sweeter but terrible time. All right, so let's get down to it. This is my turn. Hella sweeter but terrible. I have a great idea. We already heard that the Garage Heroes in Training got to be 21st in their BMW E36.
Well
we know
done.
that
Yeah.
Momrath has now beaten us handily twice in a BMW E36. Hamza breaks a wheel and his E36 is still rocking it. Is it time to bring back the ban E30 theme as a team, and this time do ban E36s? For those of you who don't know, while you're all thinking about your answer, back 100 years ago, we did a ban E30 theme. We gave out like 150 ban E30 stickers. If you see an E30 in AER on the East Coast or on Lemons in the East Coast, it probably had one or still has one on. I know Rally Baby is out there still rocking the ban E30 stickers. I was
on their E30.
On their E30, of course. I was out there getting people to sign the petition. Is it time to bring back the petition? Ban E36. Should we go old school and repeat a theme? Chrissy, hella sweet or but
Love
terrible?
it. Hella sweet. We had it. I think we had this sticker on something. I was like, even your bottle
My
or
bottle,
something.
yeah.
And all these people were like, what is that? Oh, it was at
Oh.
HPD. That's what it was. All these people were like, oh my God, are you trying to ban them? Like, people were like kind of upset about it. I love it. It's old school enough that people wouldn't remember it. There's a lot of new people that would have no idea what we're talking about. Love it.
Chris, hella sweet but terrible.
But terrible.
No.
It wasn't. We've done it already. We can do something else. It wasn't epic enough to do again. Like I'm on a boat. That's the only theme we've ever repeated in non-concurrent races. Was I'm on a boat, and that was worth it because it was the boat and it was the parade. But
It was
terrible.
epic. We could do it epically though. Mental, hella sweet but terrible.
So the fact that we keep running an E36, I think the E36 themed as the band E36, and we could even get the Garage Heroes in Training.
Oh.
So we could have two E36s themed up as band E36s. I think it's hella sweet.
That if you're gonna do it, that's the only way you do it.
That's a
Well,
good
I mean, that's
Yeah.
totally just making fun of ourselves, which is fine because they're
Bingo!
great
Isn't that what we always do?
Exactly.
We didn't even mention the theme. Let me just say real quick that we had a weird Japanese theme. Some of us got it, some of us pulled it off, some of us didn't. We were really still working on it. But if anyone has the video of us doing the leak dance,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
seen it
either.
on Facebook. I haven't seen it on YouTube.
We have
Please,
pictures, but none.
I feel like it's going to show up in a Lemons wrap-up video.
like somebody please
Maybe.
post that video somewhere and tag us in it. Go ahead, Mental.
Also, so showed up on one of my Facebook feeds. There's a new leak dance, except the girl has 2 9mm, and she's just firing. It's all cartoons. It's not real life, but she's firing them off into the air as she's dancing the leak dance.
not
Wow.
as fun as leaks.
Not
It's-
as fun
it's-
as actually.
We had fun with leaks.
But it's on the arbitrary number of people demand some sort of action be taken website.
Oh.
Check that out on Facebook.
Alrighty.
Next show
Next.
promo.
Go for it.
It's our 100th episode, which is so crazy. What was your favorite show? Did you learn anything from any of these other shows? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? We're looking to do the best of episode. While we're talking about our favorites, your feedback and input is always appreciated.
Yeah, or ask us any question.
Sure.
Ask us any question or tell us about your favorite part of all 100 episodes. Other than Chrissy's mom and the guy who runs the forum and Bill, do we think anyone has listened to all 100 episodes?
No.
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 I haven't even listened to all 100 episodes.
No.
So.
Well, thanks to Chrissy's mom, Jason, and Bill for downloading us 100 times, or 99 times at this point. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. If you hate us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. We always listen to feedback. If you have any questions,
it's been like 4 months. Come on, somebody.
Yeah,
give us
no one has given us an iTunes feed rating since April. So it's like I think more. So anyway, go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, tell us what you think, or drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at everyone.racers. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shower door open. Unless you're one of the silly nannies, then just keep the wheels down.
Fingers up for Aaron.